No? Okay. So it's my personal plan. So at New College, my goals and the opportunities I've been given are to gain knowledge and understanding of movie and film and the production behind it, along with the theory. To experience using a variety of equipment, so I guess I'll learn how to use it more effectively and achieve the grades that I have accessible and the highest grade possible. Really, I'm looking for at least a distinction, and hopefully further my skills in tasks such as directing, cinematography, and editing. The course so far has aided me in planning for my future by allowing me to go behind the scenes of production and to show me what I really want to do, if it's fun or not. It's taught me the skills required to be effective in certain tasks and roles, and it's given me knowledge and insight into the opportunities available once I finish college. So these are the careers and interests I have. So first would be in post-production for editing. So far, New College has given me experience in editing through Adobe Premiere Pro and a bit in After Effects, which has been great because that's one of the biggest tools used for editing. I find lots of enjoyment and satisfaction in finishing a project while editing. I'm also interested in learning new techniques and perfecting them, such as green screening. And I'm also comfortable with finishing a project late at night. And then there's directing, which goes into pre-production, post-production, and during production. It's pretty much a really tight thing. I think I'm very creative, and I can apply that creativity to problem solving.
Correct.
And I have experience directing actors, although I could use some more to get the best performance possible. And what I enjoy seeing projects from start to the end to try and get the best product possible. And I tend to keep my cool under stress. And finally, it would be in pre-production as a writer. In my spare time, I tend to enjoy writing scripts and stories. And I find myself very creative and easily inspired and motivated to write. And when I do write, I try to be as concise as possible as to get the best picture of what I'm going for. Oopsies. So first career route would be in apprenticeships and freelancing. So simultaneously at the same time. One would be in IT. The first option would be ITV apprenticeship, where they offer a minimum of 12 months. It's paid. Similar in Bauer Academy, where it's a 12-month program where you're given some of the roles such as junior creative content producer, which is something I'm quite interested in, and you're able to learn how to create products on multiple different media platforms. And finally, the Sky apprenticeship, which is a 2 years news journalism apprenticeship, educating on how Sky delivers their news. That's one of my lower ones, but it's still there. The positives of doing an apprenticeship is that you can learn through practical means, which is what I tend to excel at, while also being paid. You get to acquire and improve on the skills I've already learned. The requirements I find so far have been lower than universities, at least the universities I've been wanting to get into. And you don't have to pay to get in, unlike university. However, the pay is not the best at first, so I'll have to rely on parents to support me. It takes a lot of time out of the day, so a second job will be difficult to handle unless the hours were flexible, like freelancing. And university offers a superior degree that is more sought after by employers. So it's continuing from my career route. So freelancing as a career is where you shall I explain, or should I just repeat the point?
No, continue.
Okay, sorry. So freelancing is a self-employed role where you are hired to work for different companies given particular assignments. And as a freelancer in film production, you'd be hired by different companies to create videos for them. So it would be like adverts for them online. So yeah, there are multiple reasons why one would hire a freelancer over an agency. For example, they work with flexible hours, they are easily accessed over an agency. They have a wide range of experience from previous work. So the positives of becoming a freelancer, I would be able to purchase my own equipment and software, meaning that I'd be able to become more experienced and I'd be able to grow more effective as I use them. I enjoy a flexible routine. I find that sticking to one strenuous routine gets a bit boring, so I like the flexibility in how it changes.
Definitely.
During the time I work as a freelancer, I will be able to learn and gain a lot of experience. The experience will aid immensely, as while employers do like competent grades, people find that experience gives you that edge that makes you more noticeable. And due to the flexible routine, I will be able to have a second job or even apprenticeship. And I'll be able to learn to work with people, which is a skill not very taught well in higher education. The cons, however, the equipment I'll have to either buy or rent, which will be out of my own pocket, so it'll be really expensive to start off. Work is not always guaranteed, and the competition is high. Some clients may attempt to bargain or get products for cheap, or even free. I'll be very reliant on the client to actually pull through with pay, which, again, as I said before, isn't always great. And as I first start, I'll need to work for cheap, as to make myself more appealing to work with. This route is very linear as well, so I'll go on later about university and how it'll really give me some good options. If I went through this route, it would go for more concise editing, cinematography, and directing. So the other route would be through higher education. My first choice would be Gloucestershire Education University, rated 9th best for film production, as 92% of students were satisfied with the teaching presented. The film production course is a BA Bachelor of Arts honours that lasts for 3 years and gives students the opportunities to work in different roles such as director, cinematography, and editor. And then after this 3-year course, I would go on to do a 1-year level 6 course in film and TV production. This educates students on the production of film and TV production, screenwriting, and production of short films, so it would cover pretty much everything I wanted to do. My second choice would be Coventry. Coventry was ranked in the top 13, with 90% of graduates getting into work 6 months after completion of their course. The students in this degree are taught through practical work, which again works well with me, and the university has very positive feedback, with 97% of the students reporting they felt that the lecturers were enthusiastic to teach the subject. My third choice would be New College, as it's very local. It offers a 2-year level 4 creative media course that's equal to a degree level qualification. During the course I can learn the practical ways of production and the theory of media. These are the pros. The courses offer a chance to gain a deeper understanding of media production and allow me to learn new skills and enhance the abilities I already have. In addition to this, I'll have access to very expensive equipment that's very good, and with this experience with the equipment, I'll be able to be more effective when it comes to actually working. Again, as before, learn through hands-on work. I find I learn best through this rather than reading through a book. Graduates earn roughly 10,000 more per year than non-graduates. There's a higher rate for graduates. The locations are not too far from home, 1 hour drive, 1.5 drive maximum. Unlike apprenticeships, I will have time to have a job away from the course, like a more stable job than freelancing. The courses allow flexibility in my career path, due to how varied the subjects covered are. However, the cons, while the higher rate is high, there's not a 100% certainty, so I can still go on without a job. It requires a lot of responsibility, as I will likely need to be more independent as to care for myself and to get into lectures on time. Very high requirements with 128 tariff points, which is the minimum of a DDM. Even then, if I achieve that, the placements are very competitive. Unlike an apprenticeship, I will not be paid as I learn, nor will it be as accessible due to higher requirements. And if I'm unsure about my career path, I may be devoting 3 years with little or no gain. So my career decision plan would be to go to University of Gloucestershire. It may be time consuming, but it will give me a flexible career path with a variety of options. As a result of succeeding in the course, I will be more likely to find a job I desire. I am able to continue working in my current job, as I only work weekends, plus I will have enough time. A Bachelor of Arts degree is well sought after by employers. On top of this, graduates are paid more. While I will be in debt, the debt is manageable and is paid in little bits rather than all at once. This is my career decision plan. First would be to go to university, learn more about the industry and develop and refine new skills. Finish my education, see the university to the end, achieve the best I can and start working in the industry. However, if I fail to achieve requirements, apply for work or get freelance on the side. And then after all that, work on big budget productions. Once I have gained enough experience, I will look for work on sets or productions of higher value. So my contingency plan, if I'm not accepted into university, I still go for New College, although if I'm certain if I want to go into directing or editing, I had to go for the apprenticeship approach, with getting a freelancing job on the side. The expenses, as for university, is expensive. However, it's paid as you work on life, so it will be paid back eventually. If there is no work in the industry after education, as I said before, there isn't 100% certainty. I can still just work the job I still have now, but do a bit of freelancing on the side as to gain more experience. Living place at university, I'll be a long way from home, an hour and a half drive. I can't drive that between lectures, so I'll have to find a flat with other people that reside near the university. If I realise that university isn't for me, I have 2 options: either continue going on with the course and try to do the best I can, or drop out and go for the apprenticeship approach with freelancing. And for transport, Gloucestershire is very far away, and right now I only have a bike, which is a 6-hour cycle, so I'm not going to be doing that. So I'll aim to be able to drive, which turns into an hour and a half drive. A skills evaluation. So, I'm writing, but I'll try and paraphrase as I can. Throughout the media production course, I have learned quite a bit and developed quite a few skills. I think I've become more skilled in my cinematography, my...
Guys, it's getting really low around here. And also, clear that we're going to run extremely over. If there's anybody here that does not want to do their presentation today, and although they've waited such a long time, I'm happy to postpone and reschedule. Can you please have a think about that and let me know in like 5 minutes? Okay?
I'm probably on 420.
Well, I have emailed. Yeah, I have emailed you. Check your email. But that's open to all of you now. So have a think about it. But then if you won't get on that and you want to deliver that, we'll do it. Okay, have a think.
Sorry, David, is that that?
So yeah, I think I've developed skills in editing, direction and cinematography, and a bit in screenwriting. However, I still have more to learn. For instance, sound. While I can record sound, I just struggle with editing and applying it to scenes, which is very important. Personal traits. I find I have quite a few personal traits that makes me a very versatile member of production. For example, I find I'm good at listening and understanding other people's ideas. This is great for if I want to become an editor. As an editor, you'll need to listen to the director as to like fully encapsulate what his vision is. Also, I find myself to be quite creative. This would be great as a writer, as writers rely on their creativity to create a very interesting story. And finally, I find that I'm quick on my feet, quick thinking on my feet. And this would be good as a director, as if something goes wrong on set, people tend to look to the director for guidance. However, again, there are some things I need to improve on. For example, with my communication, I'm not the best at criticism or giving instruction, as I just try to be a bit lenient, so I'll hold back some criticism, which is not very good, as the person receiving criticism will not know how to effectively improve their work. Experience over summer holidays, I had 3 days work experience working on a professional set, the personal history of David Copperfield. During this experience, I worked in the production department. However, I was also able to see what happened going on behind set. In the near the future, I would like to gain more experience, preferably as a runner, so I'd be able to see more what goes on behind set. And I also managed to gain a few contacts there as well. My achievements so far, in my first year of film and TV production course, I've gained merits. Right now this isn't enough to get into Gloucestershire University, as it's a DVM, so this year I'll aim to get the highest grade I can. The equipment I have right now is a small variety of cameras, a GoPro, a Handycam, and Fujifilm camera. While the assortment of cameras is good and useful for a variety of shots, I'll still need some equipment such as a tripod, a Steadicam, and the software After Effects. It would be useful if I acquired these items, as I'd be able to familiarise myself with them before going to university, and I'd be able to use them in the university and my own time. Also, if I went to alternate routes and went into freelancing, I'd need these equipment to actually do the work. Finally, would be the location. I currently live in West Swindon, which is the home of the Great Western Railway, which means that I find London very accessible, which is great if I wanted to go into an apprenticeship, because quite a lot of apprenticeships are held in London. However, if I wanted to go to Gloucestershire, it would be a bit difficult to get there via public transport, therefore I'd have to get a car so I can drive there. Any questions?
Yeah, thank you, David. I really enjoyed that. Yes, I have a couple of questions. Why Gloucester specifically? Why Gloucester?
Okay, so it offers 2 courses, a 3-year course, where I can learn all about directing, cinematography and editing, and there's an extra year at the end of it, which goes into more production, so which is more pre-production stuff. So with the writing, and in addition to that, it was voted 9th best for the course of film production.
Yeah, good. What I've done with a lot of people today is I've looked at their presentation and they've done a really good job, but actually I feel like it's missing key pieces of information that I think is really valuable for you moving forward, not necessarily just for this assignment, but information that I think you need to go and discover because it's really crucial in order for you to make the right decision. So I'm going to put on there to provide more information about the degree, such as what units are they going to teach you, what facilities do they have, and what are the lecturers like, what experience do they have, really. Do you know when the open days are for Gloucester?
No, I can check.
Have you been to any open days yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, so that's another thing we need to identify. They're very soon. You've got one on the 14th of October and one on the 10th of November. Okay, so that one is this weekend. Right, so you could go to that, but you need to be aware of it. And a couple of weeks ago, I told you that there's a calendar on the VLE. I'm not sure how much detailed research we've made about this university.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to put on your action plan. It may be that Gloucester's a great university for you, but we shouldn't look at it on the surface. You know, you need to be a critical student who value yourself, and there are lots of different options. So I want you to think really carefully about why Gloucester.
Okay.
Why do Gloucester deserve you?
I
Okay,
see, yeah.
right? Good. You mentioned about the grade profile. What did you get last year?
Sorry?
What grade did you get last year for
I
film
got
and TV
merit.
production? Okay, and what grade are you hoping to get that will enable you to reach Gloucester's?
Distinction this year.
Okay, so what I wasn't sure about on that slide is how you're going to make the jump a grade up this year.
Yes, sir.
Have you thought about that? For example, based on your feedback last year, what was stopping you from reaching your high grades?
I think it was mostly the end products. They weren't as best as they could have been.
And what was the reason behind that?
I think it was my cinematography.
Okay. Was it down to just technical skills, or was it down to organisation, meeting deadlines, working effectively in class? What would you say is the kind of...
I say it would be a bit of a mix of all of them, really.
Okay.
So,
I believe so as well, and I also believe that us just saying that we're going to jump up a grade,
Yeah.
that's great, but that's just not going to happen. We need to identify why we didn't achieve the grade that we wanted to, and we need to make really tangible, logical changes to our approach. And it may be something like, I need to ask for more support from the lecturers. How clear are you at the start of every unit what you actually need to get a distinction and a merit? For example, when you get introduced to a unit, do you write down the merit and distinction criteria really clearly somewhere that you know what to aim for?
I don't always do that.
And that's a little change can make such a big difference. Okay? And then you could do that and say, right, well, actually, I'm not sure how I can achieve that. We need to know what you need to achieve in order to recognise how we can achieve it and if we can achieve it or not. And that's when you can bring a lecturer in and say, I want some support. I want to improve my cinematography. We need to be proactive. We can't just say, oh, I'm going to jump up a grade. That doesn't happen in life. Okay? So I'm going to put that in your action plan as well. I want you in your skills evaluation to first and foremost identify that your current working grade is not at the level that Gloucester want. We can't make that up. We can't just say, oh, you know, I'm doing okay. We have to be realistic and honest with ourselves. And at the moment, we're not working you know, I may want to go to Gloucester, but I'm not there yet. And in your skills evaluation, I want you to identify how you're going to improve. And I want you to make a really clear, conscious plan about what you're going to change in order to get your grades up. But also make it a reflection on what we can do to support you as well. Okay, so I feel that I want to improve my cinematography, therefore I need to ask for more support during productions, okay, to enable to know what to do better, first and foremost. Okay? Because I really think that's a huge motivator for you. I want to go to Gloucester. By the way, it's a fantastic degree, it really is, but it's also really competitive.
Yeah.
So therefore, first of all, we need to get the grade boundaries. We need to get to that grade point. And then we can work on application and how to stand out from the rest of the crowd. But without that grade profile, then it's going to be extremely difficult. There's also no contingency plan really in there about what other universities you could apply for as well. And that's something we need to consider. And I'm going to put that in your action plan as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this out to you, and I want you to make those changes. These are things that should be in there anyway, but they're also things that you need to discover in order for you to make appropriate steps forward in your career. Okay? The first thing could be book an open day visit to Gloucester. Okay, so it's the 14th of October or the 10th of November. It might be the November one you want to go for, but you need to know when that is, and you need to make a reservation if you need to. Okay? So I really enjoyed your slideshow, and I love the pros and cons. I think you've really evaluated what career route you want to go to, and I think university is right for you, but I don't feel that we've made a critical enough investigation into what route or what specific degree I'm going to go for and why, you see?
Yes.
For example, also, how do you apply for university? Do you know the processes involved?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Have you spoken to your tutor about UCAS Personal statements.
A bit, I'll talk to her a bit more.
Are you going to tutor?
I didn't go today, it was cancelled.
Okay, but I know that they're doing university applications, so you should go to every single one. Okay. Do you know when the deadline for that UCAS personal statement is?
No.
Okay. Just these pieces of information. I think we need to be aware of those information right now. Okay. So I'm going to put all this in an action plan for you, and then I'm going to send it over to you. And I want you to look at it. I want you to make those changes. But also, it's going to help you kind of have a clearer understanding of what you want to do.
Okay.
All right. I think Gloucester's a great shout for you, and I think your personality. I think you thrive in a degree situation. Especially if it's a practical course, and I think collaboratively you can work well, but we need to get there. Alright?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.